The Largarita Hills Restoration Project is proposed to combat factors impacting the health of the Rio Grande National Forest in southwest Colorado as a result of spruce beetle infestation and global warming. Increases in the average temperature due to global warming and recent droughts, along with naturally drier conditions, have put stress on the forest and rangeland vegetation in this region, impacting the productivity and health of vegetation. The regional drought has greatly increased forest insect activity, including the spruce beetle. These favorable conditions for spruce beetle have led to their infestation and killing of the majority of mature conifer trees in the region, having a negative impact on forest complexity. The Largarita Hills Restoration Project would reduce the risk of severe forest fire, salvage the economic value of trees impacted by the spruce beetle, and increase long-term landscape resiliency and sustainability of the region. Local logging companies would be brought in to harvest much of the dead and dying trees while the wood is still a viable economic resource. Reduction of the dead trees in this region would also decrease fuel when a forest fire starts to help lessen the severity of the damage caused. This project would accelerate forest growth by planting seed in areas severely impacted by spruce beetle, which would diversify the structure. Through logging activity and prescribed burns, further diversification of the stand structure could be accomplished, as well as increased landscape patchiness. All of these activities would help in the regeneration of forest and decrease the probability of a severe forest fire. Enabling logging companies to have greater access to the land impacted by spruce beetles would benefit the environment by reducing the amount of dead and decaying trees on the forest floor before they dry out. Efforts to restructure the forest to its more natural state by selective harvesting, replanting the areas logged, and increasing forest patchiness will have a positive impact on forest health as well. This vegetation restructuring will maintain the environment that local species have evolved to survive in, as well as decrease the likelihood of a severe forest fire. In the region where the Rio Grande National Forest is located, fires begin sporadically throughout the spring, summer, and fall, mostly due to lightning strikes. This reduction in infected conifer trees and restructuring of the forest vegetation will help prevent forest fires started from spreading and impacting a large part of the national forest. Reducing the fuel load present will help to eliminate the enormous economic risks from a severe forest fire. Fires in the Rio Grande National Forest are most likely to happen in the summer, which is when tourism in the region is at its highest. Surrounding businesses make the majority of their annual income during these months of June and July. Large-scale forest fires halt tourism to this region and have been shown to have devastating economic impacts on the local businesses, sometimes taking them several years to recoup their losses if they can't even survive, according to local forester Mike Blakeman. The proposed Largarita Hills Restoration Project decreases the risk for severe forest fire and the risk of negative health outcomes as a result. Forest fires release large amounts of stored carbon into the atmosphere, contributing to the negative health impacts associated with global warming. Increased daily mortality has been linked to gaseous emissions from forest fires, as well as lung disease from particulate matter, carbon monoxide, nitrous oxides, and benzene, which will affect local populations. Lastly, forest fires can be very unpredictable, changing the rate at which they spread depending on the makeup of the forest and weather conditions. Forest fires put local residents, firefighters, and recreationists at risk of injury and death. Through best management practices, much of the negative effects of the proposed Largarita Hills Restoration Project could be mitigated. Soil erosion can be minimized by using existing roads, harvesting the trees while the ground is covered in snow, and only harvesting trees on gradients less than 40 degrees. Planting new vegetation after tree removal will lessen the amount of erosion that occurs from open patches of land. Stream analysis will be done in any stream with the potential to be impacted by logging activity. No tree harvesting will be permitted near streams that are considered unhealthy by the National Forest Service. Giving the contracts to harvest the dead and decaying trees to local logging and lumber mill companies will help ensure harvesting practices will align with forest management goals. The employees of these companies live in the region, so the health of the forest impacts their lives as well. They have a vested interest in protecting the forest resources to ensure they have continued employment and the people that come to the region and are able to patronize their businesses. Local foresters will also monitor their activity and intervene when necessary. This project will have a positive economic effects on the region while helping to prevent a fire that could have a potentially devastating health and economic impact. Most importantly, in the words of Forester Mike Blakeman, this project will accomplish the mission of the National Forest Service by sustaining health, diversity, and productivity of the nation's forests to meet present and future needs.